So here is part 2. Before I start the video, I'm going to go through a few numerals and points to discuss. So we have 2,147,449 lines. I don't know what I'm sorry. And then there's graph number, honestly, even though it's supposed to be. I don't know how you calculate this is graph number, but well, I found out this is graph number. This is probably a smarter way of making graph number. I don't remember how to do it. Whatever. But then I have DR, which is squared. You don't really get how things make sense. Probably some way to do it, I just don't do it. So yeah, so now it's in the video. So yes, last time we left off here with a line more than them. But instead of going to more numerals, we're going to start off with smaller numbers. We're going to smaller numbers instructions. So last time we started off with 12. It's 1 12. It's 2 12. Now we have this C line shape thing, which is kind of all 20. This is really simple actually just C line. Is 1 over 24, and you know that 1 over 24 plus 1 12 is 20. So yeah, now we can go down to backwards C, which is 148. Then we can do backwards S, which is 172. S backwards S with a line for it is 144. That's not. Then we have backwards C with a line, which is 1 228. Why these are in this line, line. So now we're going to cross the 1 1. Then we have 2 lines, 2 equal hours, which is 1 over 1728. And that's all of the official Roman fractions. So yeah, I'm setting it right. Then we have 1 hour, which is 1 over 3456. How do we divide this? 100, 1752 had 2. So we're going to have value. Then I can go back to backwards S1, is 1 over 44. 144. Then backwards S is 1 over 72. So this means that 1 going through it is divided by 2. So we can apply the same thing. And now we have 1 over 6912. Then you can reverse going by 2 lines, which divides by 2 twice. And then 3 lines. And then 4 lines. Now we have 3 lines. Yeah, again. Okay, so it's 3 times the last videos. So yeah, so this is number. This is really good. So we put the numbers here. So now just how many lines there would be. So now just change it to whatever we want. And yeah, this is the formula. It's very good. So yeah, we can just make really good numbers, even small numbers. And yeah, and I'm pretty sure it should be about 1 10 to the power 3 Google time. Good. I found out what a Google time is thanks to Uranus. Like, you guys are so good at math. Like, I mean, Google. Like, I thought I was good at Google. Just everyone in the comments is just so good at Google. I thought I was good, but like, all I was I wrote a number, graph number, over basically over infinity. That's pretty much it. We are seeing what's much. Anyways, yeah, we're going to see that. So last time we left off with scribble the one more by n. This is where we left off last time. That's why you just keep going from here. I know it's the end line. It's really changing the control. We want to make it really numbers. As you can see, everyone has mistakes. It's just so we can change the scribbles away. It's just passable. So we can change the engine. See, we can change the engine. Then we can nest it together again. But now we have too much stack again. So now we have these lines that show how many times we nested. But these lines are already so many lines, confusing. This is not the same thing as last time. There are these circles with highlight in them. There's just more right highlight for now. It's going to be important later. Now we just change this to see how many times we nested. So yeah, very good numbers. Then we can nest it like that and again. And we can get the numbers beyond like human comprehension already. Just like whatever. We have to again. So now we put 2 lines between the not missing. No, that is me. Well, so anyways, get this again. Then we put 1 line between. And yeah, it's kind of some of the last videos. We have 4 lines between. Now we have 3 lines again. Then we put another number near like Johnny line would be like kind of later in this video. So yeah, so this is the existing line right. I said that. So yeah, so we put these 2 lines here to show. So we have to write number twice because we're going to have the same number. So yeah, we can change to whatever we want. Like really whatever we want. And then we start nesting it. Like, of course, we're nesting again and again and again. And then we use lines again. Mark 2. This is Johnny having nested. So again. Now 2 lines. It's just repetitive. You can see where it goes. You keep going. And now we have Johnny lines over there. And then we start putting up huge numbers here. And then we start adding more again from last video. And just keep going. And that's why you can see all the way to scribble with mark by 2. And yeah, very good number. And these circles are not the same as these were. Anyway, so we're going to put the 2 in these circles here to show you what before. So now we can just nest together like we did earlier and again. And wow, now we can nest together again. But notice that this is doing what? This is free. This is like a whole new tier of lines. So now we just do the whole same thing all over again with freezing circles. That way we start all the way here. So yeah, just remember, we can do another time. Every here, I in circles. And all these numbers are going to be exactly the lines that connect all together like once. And yeah, we can do that. Anything one. Numbers just so huge at this point. And then we can nest it again and again. And then we can put a whole new section of lines. Anyway, so now we put a whole new section of lines. And wow, this is just so big and passionate. And because I'm already, I think that's what we're going to today. So yeah, that was part 2 expanding numerals. So now part 3, Mike, did the like for being me. Like, we were working on part 3. I don't know if it's part 3. But yeah, part 2. Welcome to part 3 of expanding numerals. Mike, I'm recording this.
Welcome to part 3 of expanding the Roman numerals. I'm re-recording this because my voice was insanely blurry for the first 10 seconds, so here's where my voice doesn't get blurry. Expanding the Roman numerals. Sorry this took so long, but I spent a lot of time into this, so hope you enjoy. The last time we left off here with this insane looking line, but today we're gonna go even further than that. Quite a lot further than that, actually. So, before that, negatives. So, Newtonium 0 was, I'm pretty sure, the first person to suggest we get negatives, so hope you're happy because here's negatives. So, what I was thinking is really simple. We just flip the Roman numeral upside down. Isn't that so amazing? But at the same time, there are some numbers that look exactly the same upside down. So I present this little dot. Similar to what dices do to show the difference between a 6 and a 9. Just add a little dot there. So yeah, that's how negatives work in my Roman numerals expansion. So back here. So this is now we're gonna start having tiers of lines. That's at least what I call them. So we can start nesting this number. just like we would always do, and keep on going. Now we have 2 lines, and you know the process. You just do the same thing all over again, and then we have the number below, and more lines, and then we get this thing, and this thing, till we get all the way here. So this is basically the same number as before, but now we have the little 2 square thingy as well. So now we're gonna have a new type of line, which now has 3 in this square box instead of 2. So from here you can kind of just do the same thing all over again, but with a higher number in this square input thing. And it just keeps on going. You can see how it changes in these boxes. So this number is always going to be 1 more than this number. So that's why we have repeated numbers again. So we want to simplify this down to this. So this is plus I, which basically just means 1 more in Roman numerals. You can get that. So yeah, now we just put whatever number we want here to show what would be in the boxes. Now we can make really, really big numbers by changing this. And now, present to you, Gianluca Bananal, that you commented that you were asking about the Roman numeral in the corner of the thumbnail, and now we finally got to it. But it's the Roman numeral in the corner of the thumbnail. So, if you remember, back in expanding the Roman numerals too far, part 1, we had this thing from my drawings. And then it also appeared in part 2, but I don't have a picture of that here. And now we finally got here. We've got to this insane monstrosity number. So now we can just put whatever you want here. And it just, yeah, we start nesting it more. And now we have 2 boxes. So we can basically just do the whole thing all over again, but just with another box. So we go through everything all over again. And now we put 3 in this box. And you can just see how this goes. It's the same thing as last time. So, yeah, these are all connected, as you can imagine, because these all are 2 and these are 3. And these are all the second input. So we can just join them all up. Well, yeah, join them all up like that. And make even bigger numbers. So we're going to simplify this down to this thing, because that's how I drew it in the paper drawings, because this is a lot easier to draw. And yeah, now we have 3 boxes. The whole thing just happens all over again, just with 3 boxes this time. So yeah, 3 boxes. So wowzers. So we do the whole thing all over again, till eventually we get to 4 boxes. Wowzers, it's number book 4. Yay. So now we can have 5 boxes, and 6 boxes, and 7 boxes. But now we have too many. It's too much stack, like, again. So, we're just gonna put, like, these wiggly brackets, I'm not sure what they're called, but... So now we're gonna put the number in here to show how many little inputs there are. So yeah, then we can join them all up and make these arrow-looking numbers. There's, yeah. You can put whatever you want here. C and M and nest it, and now we're starting to use new dimensions. Instead of just going straight upwards, now we have this new box, like, to the side of it, like that. And then we just do the same thing again. And now we get all the way to this number, which is just the same thing from earlier, but now we have 2 in these diagonal boxes. So now we can nest this together, as you can imagine. And now we have 3 in this box. And wow, it just keeps on going like that. Yeah. So, now this is just gonna keep on going. So, I'm gonna try and put it into some type of algebraic thing that might be more understandable. So, Oh, I forgot I added this. Whatever. So now we have this new box on top of this one, and this is just for nesting these. Okay, I think you get it. There's a new tier of whatever. So now this is some algebraic notation that I tried to do. It's not exactly right. You kind of can guess how it applies to the Roman numerals if you're smart. So this is kind of what it does, not exactly. So A is nested B times. A shows how many n's there would be. N1 is nested N2 times, and N2 is nested N3 times, and N3 is nested A4 times, all the way up to NA. So then, if we add like another box here, now B is nested C times, and then everything else is the same. C is nested D times, so like, you can just keep on adding more boxes here. So we're gonna turn this into Y instead, just because. So now, yeah, it just keeps on going like that. And now we have so many inputs that I'm gonna shorten it down, just like here. So now we have a whole, another step in the the horizontal way. Whatever. And then we can go another step into the horizontal second dimension. And it just keeps on going like this till we have numbers that look like that. So let's go back to our actual Roman numerals and see how this would look like, because this would look like this. So right now, we're saying that there's m lots of these horizontal squares. And we can nest it together. And now we have squares inside squares. Isn't that amazing? And so now we can do the same thing all over again, but with the squares inside squares. So that's why we're going to skip all the way to this thing, where it's the same as earlier, but now there's squares inside squares instead of just normal squares. And you can nest that, and now we have a square inside a square inside a square. And a square inside a square inside a square inside a square. And now there's too many squares. So we're going to add this new number to the right of it. That just shows how many squares inside squares there are. Yeah, you can put whatever you want here. Then we're just going to join these up. Now we have, so we don't have to draw it twice. Then we can do that again. Now we nest it with pentagons. With the pentagons, we just do the same things we did with the squares. Till we have this thing. Because keep in mind, we're doing the exact same thing as we did with squares, so. And then we do pentagons inside pentagons. Now we show the amount of pentagons with this. Then we start doing the same thing with hexagons. Then heptagons. Then it just keeps on going with more and more sides to this shape. Now we skip all the way to this thing, where this is an M-sided shape. Then we can make this thing is this thing. So now, this circle has this many sides, and this has this many sides, and this has M sides. So we start making this whole spiral of sided shapes. And then it can just keep on going. Sorry for the insane downgrade in quality, but it's just easier to present like this. So now it just keeps going around in spirals and more spirals. And then now we're going to put this number here that shows how many of these things there are in the spiral. And then I'm going to do that. And then start doing that. And then what I used to do is make this be a spiral again, but from there things just got a little too complicated. So this is going to be slightly different to what I wrote down in my papers. So, from here, instead of keep on going down in a spiral, we're going to add a line here to show how many times it's nested. Yeah, we're using lines again. Of course we are. Yay, the lines are back. So then you can nest it again. And now we have 2 lines, 3 lines, 4 lines. We put a line between the amount of lines and then just do the same thing all over again, but with that. Then we can start. So this is a number from the end of the first part, but instead of starting with this, it starts with this. And then we can do the same thing to this number, but instead of starting with this, it starts with this. Then this, but instead of starting with this, it starts with this. And then we can even make this thing, which is this, but instead of starting with this, starts with this. So, oh my god, things just got really complicated here. And it was just me writing these down in science. I didn't even know what I was doing anymore. Like, can you imagine me at school in science finishing all my work, and then I'm just writing down these Roman numerals. So everything just got a bit too complicated, and I couldn't concentrate. So I decided to make this number U. This is U, and here's U on a black background to make it look cool. So U is this insanely big Roman numeral that we've just discussed over 3, 10-minute videos. So, yeah. U. So, that's pretty much where we're gonna leave it today. But, don't leave yet, because there's still one more thing I cannot believe happened to me while I was making this video. So, I was just looking through my comment section, and I saw this one comment that somebody was just saying. Honestly, I don't know if this was on my account or on the comment section of the second part, but they just said that they made this new YouTube video. I have no idea what the video is about, so I clicked on it. I clicked on this video. I got the best surprise of my life. The coolest video I've ever seen. Can I just say, wow, I cannot believe that somebody looked at my papers and extended my Roman numeral extension even more than I did. Like, I am just... Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Avon Gaming. This is just actually amazing. So, thanks. Thanks a lot. So, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's where I'm gonna leave it today. I could obviously keep on going, because I have made even more extensions. A lot more extensions. Probably too many extensions. So, do we need a part 4? Should we get a part 4? I don't know. I'll see what you guys think. Although I already know what you guys are gonna think, but... Yeah, so I guess that's it. Thanks for watching Roman Numerals Part 3. Bye, guys!